Hey everyone, welcome back. It is time for another wrestling review. We are only doing the one review this week, but it's a big one. It is AEW's first pay-per-view of the year. It feels like we've been doing wrestling reviews for so long and we haven't done an AEW one, but we are doing AEW Revolution tonight. With me once again, we have Campo.Reviews, the man who reviews movies, TV shows, wrestling, back once again. Campo, welcome back. He's got the Kenny Omega red t-shirt on going on.
By the way, which I didn't even remember that I had. I was like,
That's a pretty sick shirt.
I saw it and I was like, oh crap, I forgot I had that shirt.
That's a pretty sick shirt. I got, I don't know if anybody remembers the French speaking pineapple from French
Nobody
class.
remembers the French
No, nobody
pineapple.
remembers
Pineapple's
MNF.
French. That's French.
That's French. But hey, for all the French Canadians out there who watch the show, they'll know that one. Um,
But a retro kid's like number one supporter.
I
Like
am.
you,
Are you?
you financially have supported the
Yep. Are you
the
going? Well, you're
entirety.
going to Comic Con. They're going to have their own booth.
Yeah, they're building a new booth.
Yep. With, I think Nanoland is going to be the actual,
Unfortunate.
the
Listen,
actual
I'm sorry,
puppet.
a retro kid. I love you. And if you watch this, shout out to you. We'd love
Yes,
to
we love
work
Retro
with
Kid.
you.
Yeah.
But like the whole recent, like everything is Nanoland and big comfy couch thing is really weird to me. Like I know it's like retro throwback, but you went from like stuff I really want to wear
Like
to like
Scooby
I don't,
Doo,
yeah,
Beetlejuice,
like
and
I don't understand what's happening right now.
hey, if what would you do if they did a Franklin line? It's
I wouldn't buy
Franklin.
it. If it said, "Hey, it's Franklin," and had a picture of like Moose, I would buy it because Moose literally looks like Franklin the Turtle.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. We'll get to that review next week. You'll get our Sacrifice review next week and the New Japan 52nd anniversary show. But for tonight, let's get back to the topic at hand. AEW Revolution, their first offering of the year. It was a big one, a very big one. So we'll start
That
with
was
the
mild.
not as big as they
No,
normally
it
are,
was pretty big. I
but they are starting to add more shows throughout the course of the year.
Yeah, we got what is it, Dynasty?
Yeah.
Which I didn't even catch the announcement of it. I found out about it on Di Revolution. I found out about it on
Sat
Dynamite,
on
and I was like
Dynamite.
telling my buddy, and he's like, "Yeah, they announced it while we were watching Revolution." I'm like, I
Mhm.
don't remember that.
Yeah, they did announce it. They kind of announced it in passing between the Samoa Joe main event and the main event.
Yeah, I missed it
So
completely.
now they have an April pay-per-view. So now they have March, April, May.
They're missing
No, they don't have a
either
May.
they're missing May, June, or July, which depending
June
where it.
June is probably going to be the Forbidden
Yeah,
Door again.
it depends where Forbidden Door lands. One of those
Yeah.
months doesn't have one, and then
May is
August.
Double or Nothing.
Okay, they have 3 months without a pay-per-view. Oh, January, February, and July.
Yeah. So they're getting there. They're getting there. But if they
They
keep
don't need
producing,
to have 12. I think they
no,
should not do
not
12.
this is where they should stop. Nine is like the perfect number, I think. But we shall get on. Let's get right into the review. The first match we had was the Bang Bang Scissor Gang. Let's get that correct. Unlike Renee, who keeps getting it wrong. What you call it, the Gang Bang Gang or something?
Yeah. I love their song, by the way. I love their
Yeah.
new song.
Against Jeff Jarrett, Satnam Singh, Jay Lethal, Willie Mack, and Private Party. A 12-man tag match, a cluster F of a match, basically.
It For what it wasn't terrible. This is pre-show, by the way, for
Yeah.
everyone. It wasn't bad. It, there was a lot of really good comedy bits, like
Hmm.
everyone doing the Jeff Jarrett strut.
Yeah.
Everything Willie Mack did. I don't like the union between
The
Bullet
acclaimed then.
Club and Acclaimed. It doesn't make any logical
No,
sense in
because
my head.
a year ago, they were against their father. They wanted to break free from Mr. Ass.
The whole point of them teaming up was to take on the Undisputed Kingdom, I think.
Hmm.
And then now that's over, but they're still together. And it doesn't, to me, in my brain, I don't understand what's happening.
No, I think there's something more to this because the Bang Bang Scissor Gang do go over, but we get this like pseudo fake babyface speech from Jay White, like this fake babyface type of character. I kind of like where they're going with it though.
I mean, I like Jay White a lot. I still feel like the American market doesn't understand him because like he cut a wicked promo on
Hmm.
Dynamite and
Hmm.
no one reacted to it at all. Like whenever sorry, who were they going against? Oh my God, I don't remember.
Like a
Whoever
Dynamite, I can't remember.
whoever they cut the promo on, the other person, the crowd was going nuts for. And every
Yeah,
time Jay White started talking, it was like the crowd was just quiet. And I don't get it because he's like the promos are so good.
he's probably the best talker they have on the roster right now.
With MJF. Oh yeah, I would say so. I
Yeah,
I mean Joe is not bad. Swerve is pretty good actually.
yeah. Swerve is really good on the mic,
The
but
Bucks are actually pretty good. I never really. By the way, like side note, if
hmm
anyone who didn't watch Dynamite, the Bucks literally cut a promo at the beginning where they were backstage and they made fun of Tony Khan. They
hmm
never blinked and they stared right at the camera
with
and
a
they
big announcement,
read like they're reading off the fucking
teleprompter.
prompter. It was so good.
We
It
got a
was
big
so good.
announcement coming up for you later in the show. Blah blah blah. Da, da,
Yes,
da.
stay tuned. It will be here later in the show. Isn't tonight great? Like,
That was pretty
oh my
good.
god.
We'll go into our next pre-show match, which was Chris Statlander and Willow Nightingale against the team of Julia Hart and Sky Blue.
For the most part, I love the progression of Julia Hart as a wrestler.
And can
Um,
we talk about the missed opportunity, the Blue Hearts, for a tag
yeah,
team name?
that's actually or two of hearts.
Yeah, Two of
Um,
Hearts.
they could get that song. They could definitely
Yeah,
afford that. It's not going to be
no,
expensive. Two
Two
of
of
hearts.
Hearts.
That would be a banger. Holy shit. Well, come on, Tony Khan.
Come on, get
Um,
it.
Sky Blue has gotten better.
Yes, she keeps
Um,
improving.
Julia Hart, we love the progression. They're
hmm
both still not there.
But
Willow
I
is a
think,
complete package.
yes, I think putting them in feuds with like Statlander and Willow, even though they lost in this match, it's helping them progress in ring.
It is, but I still find like Statlander fought Riho on
Dynamite.
Dynamite, and it was a
hmm
good match. But the thing that I find with her is she still has this thing where when someone's doing a move to her, she stands like really stiff, and it's like she's
She's
just
bracing for
waiting.
impact.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you could see it. And there's also like a hesitance when she does moves to
hmm
like fully follow through on stuff. I mean, mind you, she could have killed Rio. That was
Yeah.
like
I
really scary.
think I think it's due to the fact maybe that Statlander has been like injured 3 times since signing with AEW
It
that
is, and it's all
she's
knee injuries.
yeah,
Um,
kind of like what's her name from WWE there, Nixon Newell, Tegan Knox, whatever.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Tegan Knox in comparison has been horrible.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm not even defending Statlander. Tegan Knox's
No.
performance the last couple of matches we saw was so bad.
Yeah,
I was like, oh my
it's
god.
and they're kind of hiding her in the tag with
But I thought the whole
Natalia.
reason bringing her back was to put her in the tag, right? With
Yeah, Natalia.
was it Natalia or Dakota Kai?
Well, Dakota Kai, she turned on Dakota Kai, so there's your natural feud right there.
Yeah, but then we're not going to get that probably because now Dakota Kai's looks. I have this expectation that she's going to come back and she's going to do the same thing like Statlander, where she's going to be scared to get hurt again, and it's not going to be the same because she was out for a long time.
Yeah, but Dakota Kai still goes hard though. She'll
Yeah, I
still
like
go hard.
Dakota Kai.
Yeah,
Anyways,
Dakota.
we're talking about
I'd
the
love to
wrong
see like
company.
a Dakota Kai versus if Bailey wins the belt, have a feud with Dakota Kai and Bailey.
Yeah, I think that looks like what they're planning. That's why the whole like mini turn was
hmm
presented because they want to do something with that.
But off topic.
I did think the first chunk of this match was really, really
hmm
strong, like very strong. Especially considering three of the four wrestlers here are not my favorite female wrestlers in ring. I mean,
Yeah,
I love Julia, but we know that she's not like there yet.
and same thing with Sky Blue. They have a higher ceiling though.
Sky Blue's ceiling is not her wrestling knowledge is a lot higher than
hmm
Julia Hart, but her ceiling is not as high for me.
No.
Like her raw ability to athleticism is not there.
Yeah.
However, Willow was great, and I
Yeah.
just think this match went on way too long.
Yeah. It
When
was like
I
15 minutes.
when we realized that there was no next match coming, and that this match was going to go for the rest of the runtime, we were
hmm
like, "Oh no!"
hmm
It's already overstayed its welcome, and there's 7 minutes left to go until the thing starts.
Yeah, because basically, right when the match ended, they did the whole things, bye now and blah blah blah. Let's go right to the show kind of thing.
Yeah.
But Chris Statlander and Willow go over with let's just say like Stokely Hathaway's involvement in this feud has been stellar.
Yeah, but he's a really good piece for stuff like this. He's a
Yeah.
sneaky snake.
hmm
He's no Prince Nana, but
No. Oh, we'll talk about that when we get to it, but
yeah.
we'll go into the main card proper. Our first match of the night is Christian Cage defending the AEW TNT Championship against Daniel Garcia.
This was a strange match for me, and I'll
hmm
get it all out, and then you tell me what you think.
Okay.
I first I thought it was a bit early to go TNT title right off the bat.
But then again, it's Christian. You want Christian. If you want a solid opener, put Christian
Which
in
is
there.
a very good point. So I thought it was too early. Daniel Garcia didn't seem like someone who should be fighting for the title, at least
Not
the
yet, at
storyline.
least. Yeah.
Yeah, it's there's and then they started building the storyline after this match. Like, why
Hmm.
not build the storyline to this match?
I think
Um,
it's going to lead to a. Well, I mean, I don't know if it's going to lead to a rematch because we're
it's
getting
not because
Edge.
Edge is gonna win in Toronto.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, sidebar again,
There's
it's
still a lot of tickets available for that.
there are, but they're in weird places. They're not like really in clumps. They're like single tickets, like all over the place, or pairs, and
Yeah.
they're really expensive. The cheapest ones are $87, and the angle they're on is so
And
bad
this
I
is the
would not want to
Coca-Cola
sit there.
Arena, right?
Yeah,
That
the
and that's a
eighty-seven
small
dollar
venue
ones are
too.
all in the angle, like that
Oh,
corner spot.
yeah, where you're blocked by the
Yeah,
posts and
so if you
stuff.
sit like lined up, they're like $157 right now.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm not going. I
No.
really want to go, but I'm not paying that.
Yeah, no, I'm not paying
I'm
that
gonna get
either.
Money in the Bank tickets for less than that.
Oh yeah, we
Like,
gotta go to yeah, we gotta go to that. That's right. We definitely gotta go to
you
that. I
got to
kind of
make
wouldn't mind.
sure.
I kind of want to go to the NXT show too,
When's the NXT show?
the night before.
I can't do that's a Friday.
No, it's Saturday.
No, Money in the Bank
It's
Saturday.
Saturday. Okay, we'll figure it out. We'll
Yeah,
figure it
we'll
out.
figure it out. Anyways,
Yeah,
I I thought the match was super boring.
yeah.
Uh,
Daniel, like you said, Daniel Garcia is not there yet, and the way he's like, and
it's the new
it's telling this.
character. I don't care for it.
They're kind of turning him babyface, where I don't like Daniel Garcia babyface. I kind of like him as that smarmy, cocky heel.
Yeah, he does. That's a way better character for him. It's like turning Sammy Guevara babyface. Like, nobody wants that.
Who's now suspended.
Yeah, again, like nobody wants Sammy Guevara. Period. Let's be honest. But it's like it is what it is.
Yeah.
At the end of
Christian
the
Cage retains, clearly.
when the match ended. So,
Hmm.
anyways, just like I didn't really enjoy it, but like as I thought back on it, it wasn't as bad as I originally thought. I think I was too hard on it because I rewatched a couple of the matches and I was like, I was actually pretty good, but it's just a really boring match.
Yeah.
Like the ring work is not bad. It's just there's a lot
Well,
of
we
throwing
know
people
Daniel
outside and
Garcia.
then nothing happening.
Yeah, we know Garcia can go. Like he's had fantastic matches against Wheeler Yuta.
Yeah, and those were great. And I think Garcia is a good wrestler. I just think him and Christian Cage is not a good pairing. You
Yeah.
need someone like Wild. You need like a Darby Allin against Christian Cage, someone who's going to go all out because Christian's going to do
Yeah.
some crazy shit.
Yeah.
You don't need a mat worker.
But I feel Darby Allin is out of that group now. Like out of
It's
the TNT. It's a
yeah,
very
but
low belt. It's perfect for someone like Christian because if you want to get people over, Christian's the perfect guy to get somebody over.
yeah, and that's I understand that, but it's like Christian is someone who in a match is going to give you 100%.
Yeah.
And you need someone who, in return, like an Adam Page or a
Hmm.
Strickland, I'm not saying for this belt, is going to bleed and fly around. Garcia is a mat worker.
Yeah.
His stuff is like he's technical.
He's more
He
suited to the ROH division,
Yeah,
like
he
the
should be in
TV
the
championship
pure. He
or the
should be in the
pure.
TV title. He should be wrestling Brian Danielson,
Hmm.
not Christian Cage. It's and not that he shouldn't. Okay, that sounds weird, but it made the match boring because it was two clashing styles. It was one old man trying to jump off the top rope Sting style, and then one guy who just wanted to like put you in an ankle lock.
Yeah. And you know what's bad? I was just about to say who's the ROH world champion. That's how bad it is.
Yeah, no, literally nobody cares.
Nobody cares. He's held it for a year now. So
Makes me
speaking of
sick.
which, Christian Cage goes over, retains the belt. He's probably going to lose it to Edge this Wednesday on
Mhm.
Dynamite. So we'll go into our next match. The aforementioned ROH World Championship champion Eddie Kingston defending all three belts against Brian Danielson. When they said it was all three belts, I knew again right away Kingston's not losing.
Well, it doesn't make sense to me the three belt thing because they're still treating it as if they're all one belt, and
They're
I
calling it
don't.
the Continental Crown.
But two of the belts are from other companies, so in my mind, you cannot do that.
So
I know.
the Continental Championship right now is absolutely worthless. It's lower than the TNT belt.
Yeah, it's like the European title.
I wouldn't even give it that.
But that's like what level it would be. It's like
Yeah.
the IC title or the TV title that when they used to be
Yeah.
around. Um, because TNT is like your IC,
Yeah.
or no,
No,
TNT is
the
like
the
your
international.
international's your IC, and the other one is your US belt.
Yeah.
Um, but it's like, to me, I don't know. I think it's weird. I understand that they're trying to be like Jushin Thunder. I mean, not Jushin Thunder, like Ultimo Dragon
Hmm.
type
But it
thing.
doesn't work on
But
someone like Eddie
you know
Kingston.
why Ultimo Dragon's thing was a three belt, that one specific belt was a three belt crown or
Mm.
whatever it was, the four belt, is because four or a bunch of those belts didn't exist.
Yeah. Yeah. They weren't real belts.
They weren't real belts. They were NWA stolen belts that the Japanese and the Mexicans
Hmm.
just said we're keeping these belts.
Yeah.
But they actually belonged to NWA.
Yeah.
So it was like it didn't make any sense. They were all the same belt, just combined to be like three belts.
Yeah.
It's
But
like
these are
Roman
three.
Reigns walking around with two belts still when he really only has one belt.
When he was actually for a while, he was walking around with all three.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying,
He
right?
was
But those
wearing the
other
new
two
one
don't even
around his
count.
waist, and Paul Heyman was carrying the other two on his
Yeah,
shoulders.
exactly. And the other two don't count. That's basically like, and it's no offense to Ultimo Dragon, but that's basically what he was
Yeah.
wearing.
But
If
the thing
one of those
is,
belts was real.
I feel though, with Eddie Kingston holding all three belts, the other companies are losing not just the belts, but the companies are losing value. New Japan Strong is absolutely worthless with Eddie Kingston as their champion.
They're
And
in a weird limbo though. I don't know what's going on there.
yeah, and well, they lost a lot of guys. Lawler's gone. Like I think Tito's
And since
gone.
Rocky left, they have no
Yeah.
direction.
And back to the match at hand. It wasn't, let's just say it offhand. It wasn't a bad match.
No, it wasn't. It was surprisingly good for Eddie Kingston.
Yeah.
But I hate the
Brian did
Moxley booking.
Brian carried that match.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're right. It is the Moxley booking. It's I don't know, like I'm still trying to understand the purpose of the three belts.
Like I said, two of them don't belong to your company. Well, I
Yeah.
guess Ring of Honor kind of does. You're not a big enough name to elevate Ring of Honor, and New Japan Strong Belt literally belongs to a completely different company where you never wrestle.
Hmm.
So that seems weird to me. This is my logic on this. Danielson should have won because it elevates all three belts, and him defending them makes sense, and it adds 3 wins to his career. And I think that's
Yeah.
massive for what his career means. I don't understand the continuously putting over of Eddie Kingston. It's fine. Like, I'm over the whole being upset about it.
Yeah, I'm not
I
even
just
upset
still
anymore.
I don't understand the logic of continuing to get these very high profile guys to put him over now. This should have been a Bryan Danielson win. Irregardless, now
This
that
should
I
have been
saw
a
what happens on
Danielson win to
Dynamite,
cement his career.
yeah, but now that we've seen what happens on Dynamite, you know what's happening. You know who's
Tell
winning
tell them
those.
what's going on.
So Okada comes out
Hmm.
and
On Dynamite.
hits joins the
Eddie Kingston.
Elite, hits Eddie Kingston with the
They
Rainmaker.
fire Kenny Omega.
Yeah, and
They kayfabe
they
fire.
they suspend Hangman Page, and I think Okada's going to win the belts. I think that's the plan. That's why they've held off and had Eddie Kingston hold on to it for so long, is to let Okada win. And then Okada still has a link to go back and wrestle in New Japan.
Yeah.
And wait, I draw a brain fart there.
It's
Oh,
good for ROH.
and then he adds 2 titles to Okada, and
Three.
then it brings relevance to the Continental title
Yeah.
and relevance to Ring of Honor.
But the thing is, Okada is such a big name. The person who's going to beat Okada, like that's the thing. Like the New Japan Strong Belt, I feel is beneath Okada.
But I think what the point of this is for let him lose eventually the Continental belt through shenanigans,
Okay.
or they're gonna wait until Kenny comes back and let Kenny win the belt.
And do Kenny Okada again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or even Hangman Okada and let Hangman win
Osprey.
Osprey, something like that, because those guys don't necessarily need to have the main belt. Like, they can have any belt and bring relevance to that
Yeah.
division. And then when you eventually want to give it back to a young guy, you have them win it through shenanigans, right?
Yeah.
Because
That makes
I think the
sense.
main focus here is to give Okada a reason to fight people in New Japan with the strong belt, and then give Ring of Honor a huge name as their champion.
Okay.
He wins 3 belts in 3 companies that he's never won all at once. And for him, in his like
Yeah.
Wikipedia titling, which we like to call it, that's
That's what we're calling.
massive.
Yeah.
Because he has nothing except the world title and the one-time trios belt win.
Didn't he win the never open weight?
I don't think so.
No? Okay. We got to look that up. But back to the match at hand. Eddie retains. Like you said, it sets up what's going to happen later, probably at Dynasty.
Yeah, I think that's where it'll be.
Yeah.
Everyone at my work seems to feel the same way about that.
Yeah. So with that, we'll go into our next match. It was originally supposed to be, was it a three-way match between Wardlow, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Lance Archer, right?
No, Wardlow, Hobbs, Archer, Miro, and someone else who's injured. Who's another big guy they have that's injured?
I can't remember.
Yeah, it was supposed to be 5. So that Miro was deemed as injured.
Okay.
Which he made a bunch of tweets, which non AEW based accounts
He's
like
saying
made
he's
him
not
look
injured.
really bad.
He did?
Like I really enjoyed that. It was a lot of like very neutral places that
Yeah,
don't
because
aren't
he's
like
saying he's
AEW
not injured.
fanboys. Yeah, he is injured. He got placed on the injury profile thing. He
Hmm.
complained about not being able to wrestle, got himself cleared, came back, wrestled, and then complained that they didn't let him take time off for his injury. So like
Yeah.
his complaints have been debunked and he's been made to look like a fool, which I'm very
Yeah.
happy about. I'm getting really tired of him, to be
I've
honest.
never been a fan of Miro. Like,
I thought the character of Rusev was funny.
yeah.
And I think he can go, but other than
But
that,
Rusev is your typical mid-card foil. Like, like in the WWE it worked, like for the United States Championship, you have like, that mid-card evil foreign heel kind of thing. It worked there. But this whole Redeemer gimmick, I'm not a fan of. And this whole thing with him and Lana, is she with him? Is she not with him? Like, that's kind of dumb. One thing I hate is kayfabe romances in wrestling.
yeah, and but it's not even kayfabe,
No,
but
but
it
like,
is.
but it
That's the
is.
part I don't like.
Yeah, like this whole thing, like with Dominic Mysterio, like, like Rhea Ripley was at his wedding last week,
Uh,
right?
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Right? Like this
Um,
whole Angelo Parker and Ruby Riott. Oh my God, the storyline is so bad.
I cannot figure out who the fourth or the fifth guy was supposed to be. Anyways, that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
But it
agree with
was,
you.
but
I
it
don't
was,
understand. Are they together, Ruby Riott and
no, they're not really together.
so like that storyline seems weird to me because it's coming out of nowhere and makes no sense. And
Ruby
Daddy
Riott's
Magic,
married. She's been married for like 6, 7 years.
there you go. Daddy Magic and Angelo Parker,
Hmm.
they need to be in the tag division as a solid performing tag team that's just there to put other people over and occasionally get a win against jobbers. They don't need to be in main storylines at all.
No.
I need them out of the Garcia storyline. I want Garcia either with FTR or I want Garcia in Blackpool Combat Club. You guys figure it out.
Hmm. I
You
think
don't
he'd fit in Blackpool.
you could have them pull him in and then have a reoccurring storyline where it comes back that him and Yuta beef again, and then Yuta gets kicked out of the Blackpool Combat
Yeah.
Club in favor of Garcia, and then he joins like FTR or something,
Yeah, there
some
you
shit
go.
like that.
But
Anyway,
yeah, so it was
we're gonna get through
Wardlow,
this.
Chris Jericho, Powerhouse Hobbs, Lance Archer, Hook, Brian Cage, Magnus, and Dante Martin in an all-star scramble match for a title shot for the AEW Championship.
Uh, I didn't hate this. I thought a lot of the spots were really cool. There was too
Yeah.
many spots though, and it became a cluster F.
Yeah, it was basically 4 meat muscles and 4 high flyers.
Yeah, and like it wasn't bad, and I really liked
No.
Magnus, by the way.
Yeah, and we
Um,
got so many meat chants in this match.
Yeah, we got to see Lance Archer choke slam, which is always
Yeah.
nice.
The tightrope walk he did, like,
It's it was fine. It was
and
good. The
Jake
one,
Roberts made a return. I haven't seen Jake
yeah,
Roberts in a while.
yeah, it's been a while. I didn't like the smoke machine spot.
Hmm. The fire extinguisher thing.
It
Oh
was
no, the smoke.
literally a
Yeah,
smoke
it was a
machine.
smoke machine. Yeah,
And
yeah.
because and then the commentary called it out really weirdly. It felt
Yeah.
out of place. And then Powerhouse Hobbs hit Jericho and landed on top of it. And I was like, oh,
Yes.
that's great. now we have another injury.
It's like
Um,
watching. I watched that WrestleMania 30 match back, the one with Orton, Batista, and Daniel Bryan, and
yeah,
Orton lands on the TV monitor and just like absolutely destroys his back on that TV monitor. That's why they use iPads now.
and we digress.
Yes.
It was fine.
Yeah.
Nothing special,
We knew
nothing
and we knew
offensive.
what was coming with this match. Wardlow wins.
Yeah,
We kind of saw that telegraphed. It's going to be Wardlow versus Joe. I don't know if Wardlow will win, but
I don't think so.
no. Well, it won't be it obviously, but like
If you're gonna give the belt to Wardlow over Swerve,
yeah.
I think you're talking some crazy nonsense.
Yeah, Swerve needs a run with the belt, but that's for later in the show. With that, we are going to our next match, another title, our second title match of the night. It's Roderick Strong against Orange Cassidy defending the International Championship. Really good match. I don't understand the fact that though at the beginning of the match where Orange says, "Let me do this on my own." Clearly, the rest of the kingdom are coming out with him, right? So it's like, why would you want to go shorthanded into a match?
Because he needed to lose the belt.
Okay. But that's the thing. When that happens, I knew right away that Roderick Strong was winning the belt. It
Yeah,
takes
but we
away
knew
that.
Roderick Strong was winning the belt anyways.
Okay.
Like, there's no way this run was continuing. It's gotten to the point
It
of
was very
like,
stale.
yeah, it's gotten to the point of the Roman Reigns level of ridiculousness where you're like, this is so boring.
The only
I
reason why Cassidy held it for this long is so they can say, "Oh, he's held it for this long, but he's had like 100 defenses." So it's kind of poking fun at Roman Reigns' title defense of 4 years. He's only defended it like
yeah,
30
and
times.
it's I mean,
It's
mind you, I'd love
petty.
to see Gunther and fucking Orange Cassidy.
Yeah. Well, I showed you that clip.
Yeah, but I'd like
No,
to
no, I
see
showed
that
you Gunter versus Darby Allin.
Darby Allin. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this was a really good match. Like, this is the
Yeah.
best Roderick Strong match I've ever seen.
But we knew Roderick Strong was a good wrestler.
I mean, I didn't.
Well, I did.
Since he's come back in AEW, he's wrestled in a really awkward way where it's like
Yeah.
he looks like he can't physically move.
He
Like, his
wasn't
whole
allowed to
upper
showcase
body
it.
is like
Yeah.
one unit. He can't turn his neck. He can't turn his shoulders. He can only turn his waist.
I think taking that time off to heal his injuries helped him a lot.
Yeah, but like, you could see he's back at 100% now, and it looks so
Yeah.
good. That was an excellent match.
Yeah, it was. It was one of my favorite matches. Like this whole show so far has been like really, really good. Like it's
Especially when
been
like I said, the worst match was probably the Meat Madness, and it was
yeah.
fine because I'm not going to count the pre-show, but the pre-show was also good. So
Yeah.
it's like the women's match just went too
It
long.
wasn't offensive.
No, nothing so far has been
No.
offensive.
Um
But
Roderick
then we
Strong,
get
we do get Roderick Strong winning
mhm,
and a surprise return. I wasn't sure he was never coming back, which was Kyle O'Reilly.
this for me was like, okay, I liked the moment, but I was like, you kept Okada for Dynamite, but you brought out Kyle O'Reilly. I was surprised the crowd popped as loud as they did for Kyle O'Reilly because
Yeah.
it's Kyle O'Reilly, you
Yeah.
know? And then when he did so they hug and the crowd cheers, and then
Cheered.
he's
They
like,
give him the
doesn't want to
t-shirt.
join. They give him the
Yeah.
t-shirt. He doesn't want to join. At that point, when he started walking up this ramp, I was like,
Hmm.
praying. I'm like, it looks like this is gonna happen. He's gonna get to the top of the ramp, stop, turn around, and Bobby Fish is gonna come out, and they're gonna play the fucking song. And I was like, this is it. And then it didn't happen, and I was so upset. I just want the song. Just play the song.
Just play the song. Because Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly against Taven and Bennett for the
Oh my
ROH belt.
god. And Red Dragon deserves
Another
to win
run.
a belt.
Yeah. Like going back to our video that we did of tag teams, Red Dragon was a team that we did not like even
No, we talked about it.
we talked about it, but like they weren't in the equation because they weren't around
They
really.
missed like 3 years, the last
Yeah.
like two and a half years.
Kind of like DIY, right?
Yeah.
Is
But
but we
DIY is they're good.
yeah. But we digress. Going to our next match. This was an absolute murder fest. FTR against Blackpool Combat Club members John Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli.
Right now, the best tag match of the year.
Yes, absolutely. And you know us, we're not the biggest Moxley fans either.
No, or like I mean, you're a big Claudio fan.
Yeah, I'm a Claudio
I'm
guy.
not. I wouldn't consider myself a big fan. I do like him, but like I feel like all his matches are the same match now, and it's starting to get a bit boring, especially with the Ring of Honor belt.
Yeah,
But I love this renewed like thing that he has
violence.
going on with
Hmm.
in the tag division, whether it was with Yuta or with Moxley. I think
Yeah,
this is really good. I wouldn't even care if they
I
won the
think they're the
tag
next
belt.
tag champs.
Yeah. I would let them win the tag belts, those tag belts, and then have Danielson and Yuta win the Ring of
ROH
Honor belts, and then have them just be like a unit of like tag
tag.
champions.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. But it was bloody. The only thing, my gripe with this match, again, the camera cuts to Dax Harwood, and you see him on the stairs. There he is with the blade,
Yeah, I mean they have the bad habit of that lately.
and he
I mean
cut his.
always.
And the thing is, he had the blade in his hand, and he cut his hand worse than he cut his forehead. Did you see his fingers afterwards? They were mangled.
I think he couldn't get the blade out of his the wrist
Tape.
tape or wherever he had it.
Yeah, and he absolutely mangled his fingers, like absolutely butchered them.
But it to be honest with you, it added so much to this match. It made
Yeah.
the match feel so intense. And it was so good. It was
Hmm.
such a good match.
Going back to what we were saying, like a couple weeks ago when we did the chamber review, if they just had a little bit of color in that chamber, it would have made all the difference in the world. I'm sure Logan Paul or Kevin Owens would have no issues bleeding a little bit in the
Kevin
ring.
Owens would do it in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
That's like his dream is to just bleed on the ring. But it's like in those scenarios where you're in a hard object, you're wrestling
Hmm.
inside of a hard structure. Like there that makes sense to me. If you
Yeah.
don't want to do it when they're wrestling in a normal match, I get it. But in a
Yeah.
cage match, like how what?
You got to
You're
have at least a
smashing, you're
spot.
literally blowing the guy through the entire fucking elimination chamber and no one's bleeding. Like what the hell's going
You need
on?
a spot of color, just a little bit. Like nothing big. Busted nose, busted lips, something.
Yeah, you know, like
Like like that match we talked about last year, Edge versus Finn Balor at the Hell in the Cell. It was unintentional, but what did that blood that Finn Balor gave like mean to the match? You know what I mean? That just added that intensity. That added to that. You know what I mean?
it made it make sense. It's like
Yeah.
the tag match when
Hmm.
Kevin Owens bladed behind the thing when
Hmm.
him and Sami Zayn won.
Yeah.
It added a lot to the match. I'm not saying like advocating for oh you gotta blade all the time, but like there's
No,
some
but
times where it's a feud that like you need to blow this off, and it's
you're
I don't
literally
know.
putting your blood on the line for this
Yeah.
match.
Anyways,
Like it,
this match was fantastic.
yeah, this is definitely contender right now. It's in the number one spot for tag match of the year.
Yeah, for at least for now.
Yeah. So with that, we're gonna go. Blackpool Combat Club does win. Like I said, they're probably poised for a title run, which we'll talk about later in the show. So with that, we are going Tony Storm versus Deonna Purrazzo for the AEW Women's Championship. And let's just say Mariah May coming out as classic Tony Storm at the beginning, like she had it spot on.
No, that was a really fun thing to do.
Yeah.
I like it that they seem to be have this idea now that they're gonna pass that gimmick to Mariah May.
May.
And I think it's gonna lead to something down the road where Tony Storm is upset that
She's becoming more
he's
popular than her.
becoming yeah, it's like a what single white female thing where she's like
Yeah.
becoming Tony
Hmm.
Storm. Um, but it's the match was really good. The only
Yeah.
issue I will tell you again is it got boring because the pacing in the middle of it was
Hmm.
so slow. But that's because Deanna's a mat wrestler and Tony Storm is not a mat wrestler.
No.
So you have one person trying to do a move set, the other
Yeah.
person cannot replicate. You know, so it's like
Yeah.
you're like,
And
okay,
as both as good as both women are in the ring, because I'm not taking anything away from Tony Storm's ability. They're just, like you said, two different types of wrestlers. But when you're trying to do mat wrestling against Yana Purrazzo, she's going to wrestle circles around you.
yeah, and Tony is not at all a mat wrestler,
No.
0%. So it's Tony Storm is about big, hard, heavy duty spots like the
Hmm.
butt in the corner and the
The power. I
suplexes
don't
and
want to call them
stuff.
power spots, but like
but they kind of are
Yeah,
for like
but
the
see, the thing
female
is,
division. They
Perazzo
are.
can if you're doing power
But
spots,
yeah,
versus
that's
Perazzo
what I was
can
gonna
match
say.
that.
It's like Danielson versus Okada. Danielson can go hard, so having him versus him is good. But
Yeah,
when they have to do mat stuff, what are we gonna get out of the money clip 20 times out of
yeah.
Okada?
Well, I
Like, because
think
he doesn't have anything
that's
else.
why the Brian Danielson Zack Sabre Jr. match suffered a little bit because it was just the one style. There was no
And that's
variety.
fair. That's fair. But the first time they fought, I thought it worked really well. It was the
Yeah,
second match where I felt like it got kind of stale.
because we've seen this already. It's
Yeah.
nothing new. But due to some shenanigans, Tony Storm retains.
Yeah, we knew this.
Yeah.
I don't think Perazzo's going to win this belt unless this goes into a 3 match series. I think they're probably holding off for like maybe Sasha Banks or if Jamie Hayter comes back.
Mm.
I don't think that this is that Peraza was meant to win this belt. I think Peraza's going to end up winning the TNT or the TBS belt
Hmm.
or maybe the Ring of Honor women's belt.
Yeah.
And then later come back to this.
Yeah.
It's not like a
Because
knock on her.
Athena's still champ there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure because we're gonna get the finals of the women's TV belt. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Billy Starks. I hope
Mm.
it's gonna be Billy Starks.
Yeah, that's right. Because ROH is doing the tournament for that one, right?
Yeah,
The Women's Television
yeah.
Championship.
Which
Yeah.
is supposed to end at the pay-per-view.
Dynasty or
Yeah.
Supercard.
Supercard, yeah.
Okay. But we go to our next match, and holy shit, what a match! Will Ospreay versus Konosuke Takeshita.
Right now, match of the year, not even
Yeah,
close.
yeah, hands down.
This is like rivaling
This is a dream
Osprey
match. This
Omega.
was a dream match to
Yeah,
me.
this is Osprey Omega. This is Danielson Okada. This is literally that.
Hmm.
It was so good. It was so good.
Like, and they put it all out there for you. Like, this Takeshita, I like this guy needs some sort of belt. Like,
You know what though? He doesn't even. He's just such a presence. And the thing I gotta say I love him for is
mhm.
like Will Osprey goes hard. Bro,
Yeah,
Takeshita goes 100 times harder than Will Osprey.
yes,
Dude, the guy
yes.
is willing to go full speed off the highest whatever through anything you want him to go through.
But that's the thing. Like, we last year we ranked Will Ospreay as our number one wrestler. Both us and PWI overlooked Takeshita because he's
Not
never won.
not for number one though.
No, but I mean,
It matters like also what they do throughout the year, right?
yeah.
But I think who
If
did we
he
give
had some
rookie of the
sort of
year
belt,
to?
sorry,
Who did we give rookie of the year to?
I can't remember now.
I think it was
I think we gave it to Tiff.
Mello.
No, we
Oh,
gave it to
maybe it was
Tiff.
Tiffany.
We gave it to
We're gonna
Tiff.
this year we're gonna get more streamlined with the awards. I think we're gonna
Yeah,
get more categorized. So there'll be a men's and women's for everything rather than
yeah.
just picking one person because I think we kind of
Missed the boat on Takeshita.
pigeonholed ourselves.
Yeah,
But I mean, yeah, Keshet is fantastic. Like on a
yeah.
next level, it's crazy.
And like, we've never seen these two go against each other either.
No,
Because Osprey's always been in New Japan and Takeshita kind of in DDT, and it's or AEW.
I
And
need Takeshita versus Okada.
oh, that's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, it's gonna happen.
That's gonna happen.
It's gonna be in like an event where they're like AEW is going to Japan, and that's gonna be the main
What
event.
if they do
Okada.
Forbidden Door in Tokyo this year
I wish in the Tokyo Dome.
in the Tokyo Dome?
Or you do this year's one somewhere big like Madison Square Garden, something like that,
Hmm.
and then have the announcement there that next year it's going to be in the Tokyo Dome, so you
Or
have
the
like enough
Osaka
time.
Joe Hall, like
Yeah,
in
something
yeah,
like that, so you have enough time to make sure that you're
the
going to sell it
the
out.
sumo like sumo hall and or something like that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
or you could do Yokohama Arena; it would work
yeah,
too. It's pretty
yeah.
big.
But yeah, this match, like you said though, is hands down right now match of the year without any. This was a
It's not
seven.
even close.
Yeah,
There's
it's
nothing that
seven,
we
8 star
watched.
match. Yeah,
Yeah, this is Meltzer definitely gave it like a 6.5.
yeah. But Will Ospreay does go over as it should be. I think that's another thing too. Takeshita goes so hard and he's so good. And yeah, he's had a good string of wins against Jericho, against Omega. And even this loss against Osprey will not hurt him.
He didn't look bad at all. There was some
No.
fucking nar spots in this,
Yeah.
buddy. Like
Yeah.
I think that's what makes these matches special. The Tiger Driver 91,
91. Yeah.
the spot off the ropes. The whole time we're like, no, 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 don't do it, don't do it,
Don't do
don't
it.
do it,
Yeah.
and they did it, and I was like, oh no, that could
Yeah.
have been real bad both
That could have, yeah,
ways.
for both of them. Yeah. The way he landed was a little,
If he landed on Takeshita with his head, he would have broke his neck.
he would have
And
broke his,
had Okada been or had Takeshita fell a little bit more to the side
he
and
would have
Will
broken
Ospreay
his.
landed directly on him, it would have been bad for him fucking too. So
Yeah. But like we said, Osprey goes over, Callis hugs him in the ring afterwards. And even though he's been kind of quiet though as a manager, he hasn't had that like last year. He had the whole, remember, he did the whole painting for his next
I think it's they're letting the
talent speak for
the talent
themselves.
speak now, and then it's gonna come back. Like there's gonna be a feud at some point with
Yeah.
the Elite or with somebody,
And we get a really good moment at the end. Kyle Fletcher.
which that was a freaking banger match
That was
too.
another one too, like on
That's
Dynamite.
already on the. Those are both on match of the year. That's two Will Ospreys in one
Mhm.
week.
I think there's a good chance Will Ospreay's winning.
Yeah, unless we you never know what's gonna happen. But I
Yeah.
think we might have to make an executive decision to 2 years in a row is the cap, and we move on.
Yeah.
Even though he should maybe win again.
The only thing maybe we can keep him off though is if he doesn't win any belts this year. If they
That's
don't put
true.
if
If
they don't
someone
put
goes
any
on a
gold on.
crazy run.
Yeah. So with that, we're going to go into our co-main event of the night. It's a three-way match. Samoa Joe defending the AEW World Championship against Hangman Page and Swerve Strickland. Hangman Page with that mustache now is starting to look a lot like Magnum TA back in the Jim Crockett days.
Hey, Magnum TA was there.
He was. That's right. He was there
Um, yeah,
for the next match. But yeah,
this
yeah. Samoa Joe. I like Samoa Joe champ, but what I like more than Samoa Joe champ right now is Swerve Strickland. Prince Nana comes out doing his dance with the girls and like
someone asked me, they're like, "Do you like the idea, or are you feeling the idea of face Swerve?" I'm like, "Stop talking." I'm like, "I'm feeling anything
Swerve right
that
now.
Swerve does. I don't
Yeah.
care if he's a good face or a bad face or a good heel or a bad heel. It doesn't
Mhm.
matter at all to me.
Yeah. Like
What's
that's
going
it.
on in the race?"
Verstappen just won.
Hey,
But Leclerc finished third.
hey, there you go.
And Carlos Sainz is in the hospital with appendicitis. So,
Oh gosh.
but their rookie replacement driver, the first time a Brit's behind the wheel of a Ferrari, finished seventh.
Yeah, I gotta get maybe his rookie card.
There you go.
I get it now before it gets expensive.
Ollie Bierman. That's his name.
Ollie Bierman. I'll check it out because I definitely know I cannot afford any Lando cards.
Yeah, they're way overpriced.
Oh my God, him and the other guy. What's the other guy's
Russell,
name? Yeah.
George Russell. Yeah.
Anywho,
Get get maybe an Alex Albon rookie card
that's what someone was telling me.
because he may have Red Bull's seat next year.
Yeah, there's a good chance there. I kind of wanted to get Schumacher some, but I don't know if he's ever going to turn out to be anything. So
Mick, yeah, kind
I
of
just
fizzled
like it
out.
because it says Schumacher.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Off topic. Let's
this
go back
match
to Swerve.
was fantastic.
Yeah. Again.
Hangman has been gold
Yeah.
lately. Swerve is the best wrestler in AEW right now.
He's the top right now in the company.
And
He's probably
Samoa
going to make
Joe,
our top 10 next year.
Samoa Joe, man. If he's not on PWI's top 10 next year, you get out of my life.
Yeah, because Samoa Joe, like, even that's the thing too. Samoa Joe's what, in his mid 40s now?
But he
He's
just
44.
he can
It's his
number one,
birthday
he
next
can
week.
go, but his wrestling ability is so strong. He can
Yeah.
wrestle so many styles of it.
He can do mat wrestling. He can do submission wrestling. He can do catch wrestling. He can do the power moves. He can.
And he will still take a gnarly bump.
Mhm.
Like, and he'll wrestle hardcore if you need him to wrestle hardcore. He can talk. He's a great character.
Mhm. Much
Hashtag
better
bring
Samoan
back the
wrestler
king of
than Roman
TV.
Reigns.
Yeah, for sure. He might arguably be like the in the top pinnacle of Samoan wrestlers of all time.
Yeah. Of all
In
time,
terms
I
of
would.
career accomplishments, too.
Yeah. Like he's
I-
literally won championships in every company he's been in.
Yeah.
He's won the NXT championship. He's won Ring of Honor championships. He's won AEW championships. He had a great run in TNA. Like
It's it speaks for itself.
If there was, you know what? There's an idea for us when we do another Mount Rushmore episode. Mount Rushmore of Samoan wrestlers.
There you go. We got that. I also think they should let him go after this for a run in Japan where he goes on a rampage and just demolishes it. Let him go for like 2 months over to Japan and just let him be in the G1 tournament
And
and
let
just
eat everybody alive.
beat everybody and then have him put over whoever's going to win the G1 tournament.
Yeah.
Like they wanted to do with Action Bronson Reed. What's his
Bronson
name
Reed. Yeah.
there?
Action Bronson.
Jonah.
Yeah. Jonah. But yeah. And I feel the ending of this match, though, I felt Paige took the loss on purpose just so Swerve wouldn't win.
It kind of did feel like that now that you said that, because I watched
Right?
that match twice, and
Mm-hmm.
now that you said that, that I never even put two and two together, but that totally makes
I'll take
sense.
the loss because I've already been champion. So I'll take the loss just so you don't win.
I like it.
That's what it felt like to me. So when they do have, which is probably going to happen at the next pay-per-view, because Paige, he's going to take a few months off, he said. He's going to be nursing some injuries and stuff like that. I feel a dynasty. It's going to be Joe versus Swerve, and Swerve is going to win,
Yeah,
which is perfect because you take the belt off of Joe, which it won't hurt Joe. It'll put Swerve over huge. It'll feed to your theory that Joe can go over to Japan and he doesn't need a belt to go over to Japan. It's a
and then you can
win-win.
have him win something in Japan. Have him win like their whatever it's
Destroy
called.
evil
Yeah, have
and
him
win the
win like the
never.
open weight or something.
Yeah,
But it'll be cool. I think Hangman's probably coming back at like Forbidden Door ish if he comes
I would
back
say a little
there.
later, maybe all in or all
All,
out.
all in for sure is going to be where they want Kenny to come back. That's like what they're
Yeah,
working for.
yeah.
So we'll see.
But Samoa Joe does retain, though. Like I said, that's my theory, and I think we are going to get a Swerve run. You could see too at the beginning of when the match started, you could see Swerve and Nana are kind of not on the same page either,
I don't know for sure, but
because Nana's getting a little over
I
with his
have two
dance, right?
theories, which that is one of them. One of them is that they're going to split up and there's going to be like a storyline of him having to fight the three members of
The
uh,
dynasty, whatever, the embassy.
the embassy, or the entire embassy is going to turn face and they're going to go against the Undisputed Kingdom.
Brian Cage. That's the other guy we were thinking of.
Yeah, there you go. That was the other one. I think that's what's going to happen. I think it's going to
Yeah.
turn into um it's going to be them turning face and then fighting
Hmm.
the Undisputed Kingdom as a group.
As a group. Yeah, I could see that. I
Because
could
you have a
totally see.
tag team, you have a lower card wrestler, and you have like a championship caliber wrestler.
Sorry, yeah.
And I think that, especially when Adam Cole comes back, Swerve and Adam Cole, that could be
Oh,
good.
that's money right there
I'll take a little Brian Cage versus Roddy
for
for the
the
whatever it's
international.
called, international. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I could see that. I could see that. But with that, we are going to go for the reason this whole match was where this whole show was put together. It was advertised for the last 6 months. This is Sting's retirement match.
Hold
And
on. I'm
let us
sorry. Hold
Mhm.
on. I
Already,
just,
this is already the feel good moment of the year for me.
yeah, it is, but I'm already so stupid. It's gonna be Wardlow and Brian Cage, and Swerve is gonna win the international title off Roddy.
You think so?
I think that but I think not. Maybe he's not going to win it, but that pairs up better. I just don't know why I said the other things I said. Now we're coming
Yeah.
back to this feel good moment of the year. Excellent fucking video package.
Oh
Number
my God,
one.
that video that I put in my notes that this was on par with some of those video packages that New Japan does.
This is on par with
With that
literally
Muda
like
one, the
the
Muda
Limp
one, the
Bizkit,
Inoki one.
Stone Cold versus The Rock before Mania.
Hmm. No Creed playing in the background though. My sacrifice.
No, no, no.
But no, this was like just the video package alone, like just the way they framed it. Like he's sitting in the movie theater watching all the highlights from his career as he
It
started.
was the closest thing we've got to I Want It My Way of Muda
Yeah.
exit. Like that was so excellent the way that they
Got a little clip of the Ultimate Warrior together when they were the Dingo Warriors.
and apparently WWE said they would have gave them the WCW footage if they asked.
Yeah.
because it's for Sting. It's not for AEW,
AEW.
right? Either way, I'm like I like the group of people that were there. The Russian guy, what's his name?
Oh, jeez, the bald guy.
Yeah. Anyways, there was like the old there
Yeah.
was a bunch of old wrestlers. You had Ricky Steamboat come out as the
Ric
top
Flair even took a
ring.
freaking bump.
Yeah, of course he did. It's Ricky Steamboat. Come on, man.
Yeah.
I'll watch Ricky Steamboat take bumps
Nikita
all day.
Koloff.
Nikita Koloff. I'll watch Steamboat take bumps all day over Ric Flair.
Hmm.
Ric Flair can't is like so out of shape and
Yeah.
it's scary. Ricky
Magnum.
Steamboat's still like physically pretty like
Yeah, and
decent.
we did what? It's been 2 years now since we did his retirement. Since we
No,
reviewed his,
last year I think it was. It
was
was
it
early
last year? Or was
last
it the
year.
year before?
The year before was Ric Flair.
I gotta look it up. But Timmy the Engine's.
Ric Flair was 2022 and 2023 was Steamboat.
Okay, I'm looking it up. Ric Flair's last match, July 31st, 2022.
And Steamboat was like early like March or
March
something.
2023.
Yeah. I remember because I remember watching it.
Yeah.
Not on the same caliber
No.
of pay-per-views, but yeah, but this match, man,
Yeah.
we don't even need to really talk about this match. It was a solid match. The EVPs did enough to carry the match over.
Hmm.
Darby Allin going through that glass is one of the greatest
Sting
wrestling
going
moments
through
ever.
glass.
Yeah. But like that Darby Allin moment is arguably one of my greatest
Yeah.
like
He
wrestling
had a
visuals.
huge gash in the back, like
His
after
whole
that.
back was fucking destroyed. Just like
Yeah.
that will live in my head rent free forever. That bump.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But again, like Sting taking those bumps, Sting on the top of the ladder, taking a power bomb through the table. Like this man is 64. Like, isn't he like your dad's age?
I think so. Yeah,
Like,
I
you
think they're
gotta
the
be in
same
it.
age.
You gotta be in and around it, or at least close to it, right?
They're either 1 year apart or the same year.
Yeah. Now, can you imagine Rob going through a table?
No, I can't because he's like 3'2". Smells like garlic.
Most of us Italians do, though.
Yeah, that's the point.
But
Uh-huh.
yeah, like I just can't see cousin Rob going through a table, like or like taking a bump through glass or something.
Okay, your dad was catching chops and got knocked out of the ring there. So,
Okay, yeah, it's true.
I don't know. Imagine Ric Flair is your dad trying to take
Well,
some
yeah, I think
bumps.
Ric Flair and my dad are like a year apart.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's crazy.
Yeah, they got the same haircut too, except one's blonde,
So one of them has a way better mustache.
right?
But yeah, this was fun. I thought the spots with the Suns and they dressed
Yeah,
up and that
they
was
dressed up as
fun.
classic Sting and NWO Sting, like Wolfpack Sting. I really like that. Like, I think because Sting's character now is very similar to the to NWO Sting, I kind of would have liked it better if the other son was dressed up as like Joker Sting from
I
TNA.
would have liked if he was the Red Sting and Sting came out as Joker Sting because we Joker Sting only comes out for the big occasions,
Yeah,
right? And then you seen him, he said it's showtime for the
yeah,
last time, but showtime is Joker Sting's whole
Sting's
thing.
old,
So like
yeah,
that would have been cool if he came
or
out.
even just like a little touch of red and blue in his
This
makeup,
is what I
right?
said. Okay, this was my call during the match. I'm like, it would be really cool right now while Sting's not part of the match. He's rolled out. If he went under the ring and came out and then smeared the red on his face,
Hmm.
and like now we're pushing it to the next level, and then
Yeah.
had him fucking win.
Return of the Dragon, November 27th, 2022. It was the same year.
Okay.
Because remember, Briscoe died shortly after that in early 2023.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
And that was that hellacious match between FTR and the Briscoes with the chair through the head. And
Yeah, it was FTR and him
yeah,
versus the
the
Briscoes and
Briscoes
Jay Lethal.
and Jay Lethal. Yeah,
Yeah, that was a good match.
that was a really good
That was
match.
like the only good match on that card.
Yeah. Matt Hardy versus some jobber.
But this is the thing, right? Because the JCP event, you had
Yeah.
you had like all the other promotions coming in. This one really only had big time wrestling and like a
Yeah.
few other people like that were friends with Ricky Steamboat show up.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like
It felt kind of off.
Yeah, I mean, you had Rock and Roll Express. Well, you had one guy because the other one was injured.
But Rock and Roll, Ricky Morton was tagging with his son,
Yeah, because what's his name was injured.
Robert Gibson.
Yeah, Robert Gibson. That's so funny.
Yeah. But
Robert
off
Gibson
topic
sounds like a Led
again,
Zeppelin guy.
right? He does. Robert Gibson has got that one derp eye too,
Yeah.
like Shawn Michaels now too.
This was a
That's
really
you know
good
what that
match.
is? That's all bumps to the head, eh?
Oh yeah,
That's
for sure.
concussion related.
By the way, R-Truth's whole thing where Johnny Gargano, you're
Gargano,
gonna
you
be
could
the
be the
next.
next HBK.
Yeah, it's just Shawn Michaels. He closes the door and it literally says HBK on the door.
Oh my God. Like, let's talk about our truth here for a minute if we want. Then, like, his comedic timing has been on point for the last few months. Like, ever
He's
since
always on point.
yeah, but it's been over the ever since he started this whole Judgment Day thing. Like, it's been fantastic.
Someone made a really good point to me and I accepted it. The only other person I think in at least modern wrestling that understands the comedy of wrestling as much as him is
Santino.
Yeah, oh, you nailed it.
Yeah.
Like he's so good at that. And I
Yeah. Like
told him
those
like you
clips
know
I sent you,
Santino's
like,
still doing I'm like Santino's still doing Santino in
yeah.
TNA.
Well,
And
he
he's
owns
like
the
no
gimmick
way.
now. He owns the gimmick now.
Yeah, yeah, but he's like he thought that it was like he left WWE and he retired. I'm like no, he's still doing that character in
Yeah. I'm
TNA.
director of operations. You son of a gun, John
Um
Cena.
John China. That's my favorite one.
I still like when he calls Kane Kane. Sheamus.
Kane. He's a dog.
Sheamus.
All right, let's talk about this paper
Let's talk about
before
this
it
pay-per-view.
goes for two
So
hours.
Sting, Darby Allin, like you said, Sting took some insane bumps. Like he literally went all out for his last match. And it's the way a retire match. Like there's this meme floating around too. Like the Simpsons. Remember that episode of Simpsons where Homer was looking at the barbecue and then he builds his barbecue. He's like, why doesn't mine look like that? And he's looking at he's looking at the picture and it's like Sting and Darby Allin versus the Young Bucks retirement match. And he's like, why doesn't mine look like that? And it's Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin.
Yeah, and it's like, but like, just in fairness, we kind of saw Stone Cold
Yeah.
retire at WrestleMania.
Yeah. And that,
We saw Ric Flair, we saw Ricky Steamboat, we watched
hmm
Muda and Mudo retire.
hmm
We thought we were about to watch Suzuki retire, but then he kept
he
wrestling.
kept wrestling. Yeah.
And now we've seen. Oh, we saw what's his name, the hardcore guy retire at the Noah show. Oh my God,
Forgot his name now.
you know who I'm talking about
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
He's a fucking legend. How do I not remember his
Jun
name?
Akiyama?
Anyways, no, not Jun
No, okay.
Akiyama. Well, we'll look it up.
Yeah, we'll find it. Timmy will
Um,
find it.
we watched him retire, and then now we're seeing Sting retire. So we've seen like quite an illustrious group of people.
In the last 3 years alone.
Yeah,
So, but all in all, though, this was a fantastic, like AEW
we
with their,
kind of saw Edge retire live. Uh,
yeah. But
Wait, did you go to SmackDown? No, you didn't go to
no, you went to
SmackDown.
SmackDown with
Yeah, I thought you
Edge's.
went.
Funny enough, that was also Sheamus's last match too.
Shamoose?
Sheamus. But yeah, he hasn't wrestled since that match either. And there's talks Sheamus could be AEW bound.
I would love him in Japan.
Have Sheamus in the G1?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. They really need people,
Yeah.
right? And like now we know that Mustafa Ali is a free agent. He's not in Japan. Jack Perry's still
No,
signed to AEW
he's
on a
not.
storyline,
I think he's fully invested with TNA.
but he's not on a con. He's on a match to match contract. He's
Okay.
not. He's not assigned.
Kind of like the way Nick Nemeth is.
Yeah. Nick Nemeth is basically the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that Rat Riddle is signed to MLW. So in this whole like experience, we've realized that nobody's actually signed to New Japan. They're just
No.
they're like outsourcing work.
They're borrowing guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Contract.
Which it's
They're contract.
fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
But like if they lose any more people, I'm really worried about New Japan.
But the thing is, now you have two of their champions as non-contracted wrestlers. Three champions right now technically are non-contracted wrestlers. You have Riddle as your TV champion. You have Nick Nemeth as your global champion, and you have Mustafa Ali as your Impact, your X Division champion. Like these are three non-contracted wrestlers as champions.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
Very good.
It's going to make for an interesting multiverse if they do one this year.
Oh yeah. Let it ride.
Yeah. I think so. I think so.
Anyways, what would you
Fantastic
give
show,
it?
beginning to end. I actually scored this really high. This is actually my highest score of the year. I gave it an 8.3.
Shut up.
Yeah.
You rated it that high?
Yeah.
Okay, well then you're gonna think this is hilarious because I literally gave it an 8.3.
Jesus Christ.
What the fuck?
I
How did
think
you come to
you
the
and I,
exact same
we do
number?
too many reviews that we know what we like and we know what we don't like.
How did you come to an 8.3? Like, how did you
Um,
know that was literally the
everything.
number in my
It was
head?
literally everything, every match. Like when an Eddie Kingston match
Yeah.
can impress me, it's already going to get a high score. Okay.
I
And
think
then
I could have
every
even gone
match,
higher with this, but I think in fairness
mm,
to
there
like
could be
leveling
better
off, I
shows
thought
later in
this
the
was like a
year.
cap.
Yeah. Like this is that, like, I mean, we
Yeah.
gave Wrestle Kingdom an 8.2, and that was our highest rated show of the
I give it
year.
an 8.
Yeah. But like everything has been kind of hovering. So we've gotten a lot of 7.5s and a lot of 6.5s this year. Like we've given most of them
It's
been
been a
to,
weird year.
yeah, a lot of them have been in New Japan shows, but we've given a lot of 6s this year. But this was, like I said, fantastic show beginning to end. This is the way I like AEW. I don't care about the stories. The stories are secondary. Give me good matches in the ring. Keep me
Yeah,
entertained
and
for 3.5 hours.
we literally had a pretty decent dynamite going into
Hmm.
Revolution, and then
And
we
an
had an
excellent dynamite.
absolutely maybe one of the best dynamites ever coming out of
That dynamite
Revolution.
was a 9, if I had to rate that
Oh
dynamite.
yeah, for sure. That was fantastic. Every match on it was a banger.
Yeah.
Riho versus Statlander,
Statlander.
like they juiced us with good matches.
Yeah. And then Osprey versus Fletcher. Like, come
Yeah.
on. Like, what are you talking about here? Like, when you have
Jesus.
a match of the year candidate on a TV show.
I mean, they did it. I didn't we give the best tag match of the year last year to the collision match between
FTR and yeah,
FTR and Thing? Like that's rare though that
yeah,
that happens.
yeah. But yeah. So with that out of the way, guys, thanks again for joining us. Again, like I said, this is going to be our only review this week. Tune in next week. We are going to have our TNA Sacrifice review, and we are going to probably, don't quote me on this, but we'll probably try to catch the New Japan 52nd anniversary show. And from all accounts I've heard, it's not been a very good show.
We'll see how that
We'll
goes,
find,
but
yeah, we'll
look for
leave
maybe a Mount Rushmore or something. We'll
in the
try to
coming
get
weeks,
yeah.
yeah, because it's going to be kind of quiet until Mania season, which is a couple weeks away, and then we're going to go hardcore again.
Mhm.
So, thanks again for joining us. And in the words of Kenny Omega, goodbye and good night.